Good day, folks. Welcome to Bright's Mind Academy, where we bring brilliance to every lesson. This is a continuation video from a question paper that is from June 2022, that was written by those who were upgrading in that particular year. So question 2 is what we're going to do in this video. So 2.1 says the first term of an arithmetic sequence is -1 and the seventh term is 35. Now remember, in arithmetic it is given as Tn, it is equal to a plus n minus 1 d, right? So I want you to take note of this. T1, it is equal to a, we know that, right? Why? Because it is a plus 1 minus 1 d. So we know 1 minus 1, it is 0, then this falls off, right? I want you to see this pattern rather. T3, it is going to be a plus 3 minus 1, then what? D. 3 minus 1, it is what? It is 2, then times d, it is 2d. The last one, T5, let me say T100. It's going to be a plus 100 minus 1 d. Then 100 minus 1, it is 99, right? Which is 99d. So can you see the pattern that I'm seeing here? Here T3, but here it becomes 2d, a plus 2d. Here it is T100, but here it becomes 99d. So basically what happens is that whatever t position value you're looking for, when you come to the right hand side, it's going to be a plus one term less than that n value. All right. So where am I going with this? So I want you to take this statement into mathematics. So we're going to say the first term of an arithmetic sequence is -1. So we know the first term, it is a, -1, right? Then the seventh term, which is T7, it is equal to 35. But you know what is T7? T7, it is a plus 1 less a, 1 term less than 7, it is 6d, it is equal to 35. Now we want the what? 2.1.1, the common difference. We weren't answering anything here, we're just analyzing our thing here. Determine the common difference of the sequence. Common difference, I substitute a here because I have d here, right? So when I substitute a there, it's going to be what? -1 plus 6d, it is equal to 35, right? Then 6d, it is equal to 1, -1 to the other side, it is 36. Therefore, you all agree that d, it is 6, right? Yes, so we now have a as -1 and d as 6. D as 6 is us answering this question here, all right? D, it is equal to -6. Not -6, +6 rather. So 2.1.2, determine the number of terms of the sequence if the last term of the sequence is 473. So we have Tn, remember last term it is Tn 473. So, but we know that also Tn, it is equal to what? Tn, it is equal to a plus n minus 1, the difference on the arithmetic equation, right? So it's going to be 473, it is equal to what is a? -1 plus n minus 1. What? D. Oh, we now know the value of d, which is 6. So this is going to be, take this -1 to the other side, 474, 74, it is equal to 6n minus 6. Then take this 6 to the other side, it is 480, it is equal to 6n. Therefore, you all agree with me that the value of n, it is it 80? I think it's 80 here. Let's just confirm. 480 divided by 6, it is 80. So therefore T80, it is equal to how much? T80, it is equal to 473. All right, but your answer just ends here. They wanted the position. Yes, the number of terms actually, which is n in this case. All right, so when we move on to 2.1.3, 2.1.3 says to us now, determine the sum of the first 40 terms in the sequence. Now, on an arithmetic, the summation, we know for some formula, it is Sn, it is equal to n divided by 2, 2a plus n minus 1, the difference, right? Now, but now we want what? S 40. So we're going to say 40 divided by 2, 2a, what is a? Negative 1 plus n, it is 40 minus 1, the difference, it is 6. Then the answer here for S40, it is 46440, if I'm correct. If it's not, please correct that using your calculator. This is the answer for 2.1.3. Fairly easy questions. As of yet, we haven't done any trick questions maybe. 2.2 says 75, 53, 35, 21 is a quadratic number pattern. Therefore, let's just analyze that number pattern for now. And remember, on a quadratic number pattern, what's special about it? What's special about it is that the second difference is constant. So we have the second constant difference, all right? So this is term number 1, term number 2, term number 3, and term number 4. So I'm saying the first difference will not be constant, right? I'm saying the first difference will not be constant. What will be constant is the second difference. 53 minus 75, remember, is this minus that, all right? Not the other way around. 53 minus that, it is negative 22. 35 minus 53, it is negative 18, negative 14. All right? Then when I do my math here, negative 18 minus like this, negative 18 minus 22 is going to be plus here. So negative 18 plus 22, it is positive 4. Positive 4. This, I'm done. I'm in a position of looking at my question right now. So my question says that write down the fifth term of the number pattern, fifth term here, term number 5 here. How do I do that? I say, all right, I know the difference here, it is 4, right? The constant difference. It is 4. So I'm going to just add 4 here because negative 22 plus 4, it is negative 18. Negative 18 plus 4, it is negative 14. Negative 14 plus 4 is going to be negative 10. Negative 10. Also here, 75 minus 22 is this. 53 minus 18 is this. 35 minus 14 is 21. 21 minus 10, it should be 11. Therefore, sorry, the required answer there, it is 11. Therefore, we're going to say T5, it is equal to 11. Just this answer, you are done. Then now, 2.2.2 says determine the nth term, which is Tn, right? Remember, nth term is basically Tn. Remember, in quadratic, we use these first terms here. They are very, very important. Why? I'm going to say the first one here, it is 2a, it is equal to that. Then here, 3a plus b, it is equal to that. Then here, a plus b plus c, it is equal to that. Then I'm in a position of answering my question here. So I'm going to say 2a, it is equal to 4. Therefore, a, it is equal to 2. Then 3a plus b, it is equal to what? Negative 22. 3, what is a? A is 2. Then it is equal to negative 22. Therefore, b, when I do my math, it is negative 28. This is positive 6. To the other side, it's negative. All right? Therefore, I have a plus b plus c, it is equal to how much? It is 75, right? 75. Therefore, a, it is how much? It is 2 minus 28 plus c, it is equal to 100, 75. Therefore, the value of c, it is 101. Really? No. 75 plus 28 minus 2. 101, yes. Therefore, remember they said find Tn, or the nth term. Therefore, we're going to say Tn, it is equal to 2n squared minus 28n plus 101. This is your final answer. I think it's 4 marks. Where is it? Yes, 4 marks. So how do you allocate these 4 marks? A, B, C, then Tn. You end here. You do not conclude by saying this. You get 3 marks. You get what? 3. Oh, no. I need this. I'm going to need this Tn probably for the next question. So let's see the next question. The next question says to us, calculate the maximum. Oh, you are given a new number pattern here. So it says determine the maximum value of the following number pattern here. All right. So what you're gonna do, you have to find Tn for this one, right? But now, if you are to find this Tn, you'll find it out you'll find that the will be Tn will be with, I want this, I want this, let's put it here. You'll realize that your Tn here, it is going to be 2n squared divided by, actually like this, minus, actually plus 28n divided by 5 minus 101 divided by 5. If you were that particular person who wanted or calculated Tn for this number pattern, this is what you found, right? But now, remember we are dealing with number pattern here, so you should try to see a pattern between the two equations because it is within a equation. So why will they bring another number pattern whereas you have one here? Unless there is a pattern, right? Now, as I was looking at this, I saw, all right, look at 53 here. It is negative 53 divided by 5. And look at 21 here. It is negative 21 divided by 5. Now, I wasn't so sure why the examiner did this because here 53 is here, but it is divided by negative 5. Also 21, it is here, but it is divided by negative 5. So I was like, all right, let me see if the pattern is true now. By saying, I can see here they divided by negative 5. I want to confirm if that's true. By doing what? By saying on my calculator 75 divided by negative 5. And I saw that it gives me negative 15. Huh, how interesting. 35 divided by negative 5 and also give me negative 7. So it means now this new equation, we get it by doing what? By dividing this equation by negative 5. So it means even the general formula for this one will be the general formula of this one divided by what? By 5. Meaning now the general formula for this one is going to be what? Tn is going to be negative 2n. Actually, it is 2n, right? 2n squared divided by negative 5. Negative, then it's going to be plus here because I'm going to divide by negative 5. So it's going to be 28 divided by 28n rather. 28n divided by 5. Then negative 101 divided by 5. Check, the signs are changing here. Positive to negative, negative to positive, positive to negative. Why? Because I'm dividing by a negative value. All right. So this is me not writing over the general formula for this one and doing the difference, the what, but just understanding the pattern, right? So if I have this new Tn now, it means I can work off, right? So I can now answer the question, what is the maximum value? How do I find the maximum value? I'm going to say, let me take my Tn here. Nope, take everything. Hey, Bhavana. Where I crashed. Let me do this actually, so that I'm in a position of taking everything here. All right, let's take this here. So remember, if I want the maximum value, I'm gonna have to find the value of n first here, right? So how am I gonna do that? I'm gonna say n it is equal to negative b divided by 2a. Remember, if you're having a parabola like this, remember this is a parabolic shape, right? If you're having a parabola and say calculate the turning point, remember the maximum value. Why are we saying it is the maximum value? Because now look at this equation. It is negative. It is in the standard of ax squared plus bx plus c, which is the parabola shape, right? But you know, a, if it is less than 0, it's going to be a set shape. If a is greater than 0, it's going to be a happy face. So in this case, we see that the value of a in this case, it is negative. So it means it's going to be this shape, and this shape has a what? Has a maximum value here. This is max. But if it was a happy face, it has a what? It has a minimum. So hence, how do we find the maximum value? The maximum value is basically the turning point, right? How do we find the turning point? Remember how to find the turning point? You just say n, you find the x value, right, by this, but in this case it is n. You're gonna say n it is equal to negative b divided by 2a. Negative, what is b? B, do you remember this is a, this is B, this is C. We are looking at this equation, right? So if that's A, B, and whatever, what is B? B, it is 28 divided by 5, all divided by a 2. What is A? A, it is negative. Let me remove this negative. 2 divided by 5. When I solve this mathematically, I get that the value of n, it is how much? It is 7. But now I want the corresponding y value, which is the maximum value. Remember, the maximum value, it is determined by the what? By the y value, not the x value. And this n, it is the same as x. So we want the y value. So how do we find the y value, which is the maximum value? We're going to say, all right, I'm going to take this 7 to the original equation, this one. So I'm going to say, therefore, T7, which is the maximum, it is equal to what? Negative 2 divided by 5. What is n? N, it is this, plus 28, 7, 5 minus 101 divided by 5. 101 divided by 5. Therefore, the maximum value that I get, it is negative 3. Negative 3 divided by 5. This is my maximum value. Now there is another step of doing this. So let's try it. Remember, I've just found that my maximum value, it is this one. So I want to confirm. If you have done calculus already, you know that, as I was explaining this, or it is a shape like this, right? And now I know my maximum value, it is here. I know here at the turning point, my gradient, it is 0. Why? Because here my gradient is increasing, right? My gradient, it is increasing like this. It is increasing here, but in this case it is decreasing. But can you see here, it is just a flat line like this. So remember, a gradient of a flat line, horizontal line, it is 0. So I know here my gradient, it is 0. But Rona, as we talk calculus, we know what is a gradient. A gradient, it is the derivative of a function, right? This is if you are doing calculus. If you haven't done calculus, you can just skip this part and move on with question 3. It's gonna be T n prime is gonna be the derivative of this. You know how to apply derivative rules. Means 2 multiplied by this is gonna be negative 4 divided by 5n, plus this is gonna be special case 28 divided by 5. But you know that your derivative here should equal to what? To 0. Your gradient should equal to 0. Remember, Tn prime, it is your derivative of Tn, it is your gradient, but it should equal to what? To 0. You know that your Tn prime should equal to 0. Then I'm going to equate this to what? To 0. I'm going to say negative 4 divided by 5n plus 28 divided by 5. It is equal to what? To 0. When I solve this mathematically, I get negative 4 divided by negative 4n divided by 5. It is equal to negative 28 divided by 5. But these 5 are the same in the denominator, right? So this is the same as saying this is negative 4n. It is equal to negative 28. Therefore, n, when I solve for it, it is how much? It is 7, right? Then how do I do? What do I do actually? From here, I say take this n to this equation. Therefore, after substituting T7, which is my max, I get it is how much? Negative 3 divided by 5 again, right? Another method that you can use is that, all right, this is probably the last method that I realized or I saw, is you can say, all right, I know from this original equation here, from this, to get this equation, they just divided everything by 5. And we just saw also that if they divided this equation by negative 5 to get this, its equation also was divided by negative 5 to get the new equation. So it means how? It means even if I were to get the maximum here, whatever the maximum value it is here, when I come here, I'm going to say whatever that maximum value, which is b, I'm going to divide by negative 5. So I can also use this one, this equation, which is 4, this Tn and find the what? The maximum value. But after finding that maximum value, I have to do what to that maximum value? Hey, I have to do what to that maximum value? I have to divide by -5. So let's try that. I'm gonna use the normal way, which is all right. Let's use the calculus one. I prefer the calculus one. Remember, I know that Tn prime should be equal to 0, right? You can also use the negative b divide n is equal to negative b divided by 2a. You'll see you'll get the same answer. Tn is equal to Tn prime, or the derivative of Tn should be equal to 0, right? At the maximum. But what is Tn prime? Tn is yo, this English is running away. My data is gone. My data is gone. 2n squared, when you derive it, it's going to be 4n minus 28n is going to be 28. Remember how does this rules apply? It says 2 multiplied by 2 is going to be 4n. Then 2, you subtract 1 from it, it's going to be 1. Hence, we get 4n. In case you have forgotten, then this one, remember, of a constant is 0. When you derive a constant, you get 0. Therefore, 4n it is equal to 28. Therefore, n it is equal to 7. Can you see? N is still 7, right? But now, when I take this n and substitute here and say T7 it is equal to, let me use this, T7 it is equal to 2 into 7 squared minus 28 into 7 plus 101. My answer that I get, it is 3. But, 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 from Tn old to Tn new, we divided by -5. So I'm going to say therefore my max is going to be, remember this is your max, right? But for that equation, but for this new equation, max is going to be 3 divided by, we do what? We -5. So can you see that the answers here are the same? -3 divided by 5, -3 divided by 5, right? Yes. So yeah, that's all for question 2. We'll meet on question 3.